Hey guys, what is up? It's Austin. You guys on video, and today I'm bringing you guys another movie review. I've done a couple of these. They've got some pretty decent support. My Jurassic World movie review got like over 50 views and a lot of likes, so that was good. My Lost World review was decent, and then I think those are the only two I reviewed. I don't know if I reviewed anything else. But today, first off, I want to say it's 9/11, and I do want to say God bless the people that fought to save other people's lives in that tragic event, and the ones who died, rest in peace, and hopefully they have found peace, and the people that were victims to the terrorist attacks. And I just want to get out that all the way. But to bring some life, not life, but to bring some happiness in your day, I'm reviewing one of the silliest but funniest, my favorite superhero, the most wisecracking superhero, and funniest one there is. So guys, today we're reviewing Spider-Man 2. I'm not reviewing the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'll review those when I get to those. But I'm going to review the original Spider-Man trilogy, but I'm going to do it from best to worst, in my opinion. So yes, I do think Spider-Man 2 is the best out of the trilogy. Now, it does have some problems. For instance, there is a very big, one of the side plots that Peter is in love with MJ, but he doesn't want to be with her because he's Spider-Man. He's well established that. He has a talk with her at the beginning of the movie. Now, he's still trying to impress her. When he finds out she's engaged to Jameson's son, he is still trying to impress her. He gets jealous. He's really sad, and then at the end of the movie, they actually end up hooking up. But what I don't get is, why is he trying to impress her? He's well established that he doesn't want to be with her because he's kind of scared that she'll get hurt, which is a valid explanation. But he still tries to impress her, which always boggles my mind, and I don't really understand. But that was one of my small problems. Another one was underdeveloped characters. There was a lot of characters that were underdeveloped, and the one newly introduced one that was really good was Doc Ock. I can't remember his actor, but he made that role amazing. Pretty much most of the cast in this movie do their roles amazingly. I mean, I'll get to the main cast when I get to them, but keeping it at side characters, I mean, the underdeveloped characters is definitely, one is Otto's wife. I can't remember, or it's Rosie, I think her name was. And yeah, she died, but she didn't have a big effect on him. He made one line after she died about her, and then after that, he went crazy because the metallic arms talking to him, which is another problem we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, his wife didn't really seem to have that big of an effect on him, but what's sad is that they care about each other. In the scenes at the dinner they share when they're talking to Peter about, Peter's love life, again, they're talking about each other, how lucky they are to have each other, and even that small glance they give each other when he's working on the nuclear fusion reactor thing to make an artificial sun for energy. You see them glance at each other, and they just give each other like these little smiles. So they care about each other. But after she dies, he only makes one line about her. So very underdeveloped and very disappointing because she actually seemed like a sort of interesting character to start out with. There was her, and the most underdeveloped, the most disappointing I gotta say of all is Jameson's son. You might be like, what's his name? And to be honest, I can't even remember. And I watched this movie like 3 days ago. I might have only known it from the I know his son. I know his son's name. I do remember. It's John Jameson. I only know it, though, because of the comics and because of a few cartoons. But other than that, this movie, I honest to God cannot remember his name until just now when I started thinking of the comics. He was so underdeveloped, but he was supposed to play a pretty big role in this movie. And to be honest, this movie, this should have given us some new things from the comics. Why couldn't he be Venom in the third movie? Think about it. First off, this guy has a very big role. He's the son of Jameson, Peter's boss. He dated MJ and was gonna get married to her, which is a big important part. And he was an astronaut. He played a big important role, and you can't even remember him. And why can't he be Venom? I understand Eddie Brock is Venom. Venom got 20 minutes of screen time anyway, so it didn't really matter if he was Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock was developed, but not Venom that much in the third movie. So the third movie just had all this exposition, but I don't want to get to it. Anyway, if he was Venom, he'd make a lot more sense. He has the anger and hatred toward Peter because Peter stole his woman. And then the fact is, if he found out he was Spider-Man, he knew his hate would grow even more for him. And then, since he's out in space, where the symbiote originally was in the 1994 cartoon, when it attached itself to the ship, it would have made a lot more sense if he became Venom, not Eddie Brock, and not how the third movie said it, when the meteor simply fell out of the sky. So, yeah, it would have made a lot more sense for the symbiote to be drawn to him, although Topher Grace did play his role very well as Venom in the third movie. I did like him. But anyway, enough with underdeveloped characters. The only other problem I can think of with the movie is, like, a few stupid scenes, but it was funny. Doc Ock's metallic arms doesn't really bother me, but it was really stupid how they had artificial intelligence and they could talk to him. I don't know, it was a little A little weird how they actually talked to him. That was weird, but other than that, I really can't complain about this movie. This movie has so much goodness to it. How far are we in? We're 5 minutes in? Okay, I couldn't see it because I had to look at that. But yeah, like I said, the main cast did amazing. My favorite actor throughout the whole series, mostly, hasn't been Tobey Maguire. Might be James Franco. And the second movie, James Franco shines more than anyone else in that movie, for sure. I mean, the first movie was kind of Maguire's whole thing, which I liked. The second movie was James Franco, and the third movie is honestly a toss-up between the two of them. You can really see in the second movie James Franco as Harry. You can really see his hatred towards Peter because, well, not towards Peter, but towards Spider-Man at first. You can see the pain he's suffering and, you know, the moments he's having. And then when he finds out Peter's Spider-Man, you can see his just shock, like, no, how can my best friend, the one who's always been there for me, been the one to kill my father? You know, you can get that from James Franco. He's an amazing actor in the second movie. And I'll get to the third movie when I get to that. But he was such a great actor. And to be honest, the best supporting cast member was J. Jonah Jameson. Sadly, I can't remember the actor's name, but my God, he plays the best Jameson I've ever seen. He really has the perfect sense of funny, but it makes sense why he is the way he is. He's just that jerk that's funny while he's being a jerk. He's the perfect cast choice, and honestly, I really wish in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, if they did show Jameson, they would have chose him, because in Amazing Spider-Man 2, Peter does make a reference to it. He's like, oh yeah, Jameson pairs me a fatal age if it was 1960. Makes a small joke about it. But if we were to see Jameson in the new Spider-Man reboot, The Spectacular Spider-Man with Tom Holland, I really do hope they bring back J.K. Simmons, I think his name is, for Jameson, because great actor for him. The CGI was great. The CGI held up greatly considering it was made in 2004. There are a few weird CGI scenes, for instance, when Peter's jumping from the two buildings. It was okay, but there's that. But the CGI doesn't seem too outdated. It seems pretty well for 2004. And the camera angles in this movie were actually outstanding. When you see, you know, the camera angles that Sam Raimi gets on, you know, these Spider-Man swinging sessions, they're perfect. He's literally amazing when he works with that. But aside from that, I think the biggest letdown of this movie might have been Mary Jane, just because they really just messed her up in this movie, and my phone just went off while recording. But anyway, there's her Aunt May really didn't change much from the first movie. She was still a basic character, but there is a very emotional scene with Peter and Aunt May where Peter says it's his fault Uncle Ben's dead. He let the guy go, and he ended up killing Uncle Ben. And then, you know, Aunt May, surprising to my reaction, walks away. She's angry. You know, she's sad. She knows her nephew could have avoided her husband's death, but then she ends up accepting it later in the movie. So, all in all, it was a really good movie. I do think it's best out of the trilogy, and I think this is really a 9.9 out of 10 on the movie. Because, really, when you see me complain about this movie, there's not much wrong with it. The only things I'm complaining about are things you're not going to realize until, you know, you think about it. Because, like, the only main problem I can think of in the movie was the stupid plot with Peter loving Mary Jane and then trying to impress her, which was small. It wasn't really that big of a deal because it was a side plot. So, I think Amazing Spider-Man gets, the Spider-Man 2 gets a 9.5 out of 10. I think that's a fair rating for it. Yeah, so I think that movie was great. And, yeah, join me next time when I review the next in the Spider-Man trilogy. You know, like I said, I'm going from best to worst, so if you want to take your bets in the comment below, what you think is my second favorite, go ahead and do that. So, I'll see you guys next time. This is Austin, and I'm out. Peace.